Good morning. How are y'all this morning? That's not an incubator on my picture. It was a dehydrator. And there's a story about it. I just got to put my hair up because I got to start getting ready. Okay, first of all, today is the day that the new group home gets to go to the fair. And after I get ready this morning and let the animals out, I have to travel, I'd say 20, 30 minutes one way because we found a company to sponsor the new group home, and they're going to get blessed with all-in-one passes, and that was donated by the Lions Club. And then this Chrome Shop here in Coleman donated $20 per person for them to eat fair food, because who wants to go to the fair without eating fair food? And they're going to get $15 a piece to play games. So I get to go do that this morning. And I will be posting a picture today of me and the Chrome Shop, them giving me the check. And so I'm very blessed to have such a good community that I can make a simple phone call and everyone says, "Yes, Judy, I'll do it." It's it means a lot to me. Because literally I made one phone call and I said, "This is what I need." And they were like, "Done." And then I went to one business and said, "This is what I need." And they said, "Done." So it wasn't like I had to go search for someone to help me. Like, people listen to me. So I don't ask my community very often for help. I don't. I ask my following, my backup dancers for help, but I've never just like physically put on my shoes and went into the community and asked for help. This was my first time and I felt a little nervous, but I knew it was for a good cause. And, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I was like, I know who's going to help me. I know who I can call and they'll like help me. And so it was very good. So I'm excited to go get that check for them this morning. Now, I will tell you that this new group home, they will not let me take pictures. They will not let me do videos. Um, I don't think, I don't know. I guess it's not everyone signed a release. Like the Margaret Jean Jones Center, everyone signed a release so I can put them on social media. And it makes it bad when I can't take a picture or a video because it makes it where you don't have a connection with them because you don't know their names. You don't know what they look like. You can't see them when they're here. And it makes it difficult for the backup dancers to make a connection with them when all I can do is tell you stories. So, I don't like that, but I have to follow rules, right? So that's why you've not seen them on any more videos. So, on to my story. All right, this weekend, Friday, Larry's birthday was this weekend, and thank you to everyone who sent him a card, or a message, or a gift card, or cookies, and uh, word search books. I will tell you, and I'm not telling you this, I'm just going to say it. Nobody, not one person in the entire family came to see him or reached out. Now, I say that my son did try to call Larry, but Larry doesn't no longer have a cell phone. But no one came to see him. Nobody sent him a card, called me and said, "Hey, is Larry having a good birthday?" Nobody but you. You did. Nobody in the family did. You did. You sent him cards. You sent him birthday gifts. You made him feel special. But I've told you that the reason nobody in the family does is because Larry doesn't have a relationship with nobody in my family but me. He is socially awkward. He doesn't have a relationship with any of his grandkids, really. He's the closest to my son. And that's because when my son was a little boy, he used to say he was Papa's boy. My mom, before she got sick, she would say, "No, you're not. You're Nana's boy." And he'd go, "No, I'm not. I'm Papa's boy." And Larry would eat that up. And Larry used to ride my oldest son on the tractor. And my son would say, "Will you take me for a ride on the tractor, Papa?" And Larry used to eat that up. My son made a connection to Larry when he was a little boy. But as time went on, my mom had the stroke and Larry became an introvert, and my mom never kept my son anymore because she had had a stroke. And so Larry never reached out to my son to continue the relationship. So none of the grandkids know him. Nobody. Because he is socially awkward and he doesn't call anybody. He doesn't try to make a relationship with anybody. I feel like the reason he made a connection with me is because when my mom had her stroke, long story short, Larry was scared to death. Larry couldn't afford, like, she had to file for disability. Larry went into a panic attack and, "I can't do it. You're going to have to do it." And I'm like, "I can't do it. You're the husband," you know? And so we ended up having to go to a lawyer, and I had to get power of attorney over my mom so I could take care of my mom, because I had to deal with, my mom was still working. So I had to deal with my mom's work stuff. I had to deal with my mom's disability stuff. I had to deal with caregivers. I had to deal with hospice. So it was me doing it all. Well, I lived an hour away from my mother, and I worked a full-time job, and I had a 1 and a 2-year-old on top of a sick mom, on top of Larry. So it was difficult. So I think he began to get close to me because it was me. I had to go get her underpads and her wipes and her medicine, and I would have to take it to the mountain. And I did it all. When a caregiver would quit, my mom was mean. Okay. My mom would bite the caregivers. She would chew them out. She hated every one of them. So it was hard for us to keep a caregiver. And every time a caregiver would walk out the door because my mom would bite her, Larry would call me panicking. And then I would go, "Oh my gosh, I've got to work and find a caregiver." And so it was like Larry grew to trust me through all of that. And so then when my mom passed away, it was me making the funeral, doing everything. And so when she passed away, Larry grew to trust me. And so it's been like that ever since. That's why I'm the only one in the picture. Nobody else has a relationship with Larry. But shame on them for not trying to figure him out, for just going, "He's a weirdo." Because Larry is a weirdo. Larry is strange. Very, very, very strange. But nobody's taken the time to get to know him. Enough about that. This weekend, let's see, what day was it? I took Larry on the little birthday ride, and I did a video. If y'all haven't watched the YouTube video, you can watch it. But Saturday came, mm-mm, because Shane was here Saturday. It wasn't Sunday. It was Friday. Friday when Larry and I got home. No, think about this. Friday before Larry and I left, we couldn't leave because Friday is Larry's day to get a bath. And so I had to go do farm chores and I was waiting on Larry's bath lady. So while Larry's bath lady, we were waiting on her, I became Little Miss Entrepreneur. And no, that's not the right word. I started cleaning house like a banshee. Okay. I am washing dishes, cleaning cabinets, straightening, doing floors. I'm just like running around like wildfire cleaning up. And Shane has left the counters a complete mess. He had the dehydrator out and I had on top of cleaning, I had been like that for a week. I was just like, you know how like when you get on this rampage of cleaning out the refrigerator and the freezer and all this. So I go in there and I clean out the freezer and his deer meat's in there. Okay. I start pulling that crap out and I'm like, I'm thawing it out. And I'm like, dude, this has been in here for 2 years. It cannot be any good. And then there was this deer jerky in there. And I'm like, you don't ever fix this. Why? Like, it's time for us to clean out this refrigerator and get crap out of here. So I began to clean it out. So he had the dehydrator out because he makes deer jerky. Okay. I ain't touching that crap, but he likes it and he was making it. So he had the dehydrator. He just leaves the kitchen a complete train wreck. He just unplugs the dehydrator, leaves the deer jerky in the dehydrator unplugged, and I'm like, and just leaves. And I'm like, well, okay, Jackleg, just leave it all for me. And so I began to clean up his mess, just like we always do, right? Because it's driving me crazy. And I'm washing clothes, washing dishes, doing the floor, cleaning off counters, straightening up, and his bull crap is everywhere. And I just start cleaning. And this is how he does. In our kitchen, there's the kitchen, but then on the other side, there's a breakfast nook, and then on the other side is like where a table is, and he's made that his office. You should see what it looks like. Drives me insane. But I can't touch it because he's the type, if you touch anything over there, what'd you do with my stuff? What, he starts that crap. Where is my, what'd you do with my, and he just starts saying, so I don't touch the crap. But when he starts using the breakfast nook on top of his little office, I have to draw the line and go, dude, leave your crap over on that side. Don't be using the breakfast nook. Keep all your bull crap on that side. If you don't want me to touch it, do not put it on this breakfast nook, because if you do, I'm going to touch it. And if I think it's junk, I'm throwing it away. So I cleaned it. And I get frustrated. Shane is very hard. Okay. He don't compliment often. It's a good thing I got therapy is all I can tell you. You know how I told you I told you last week that I was about to charge him for the $30 copay, that I have to go to therapy to deal with his crap. I really do need to start billing him, because when he comes in the door, let's say he's been hunting for 2 weeks. And every time he comes home, it's like the president of the United States is coming home because I go into this rampage that the house has to be perfect when he comes home. I don't know why I do that. Like I go into cleaning sheets, making sure everything is clean in the house. The closets are clean, the clothes are folded. It's like I don't know why I do that. And then what happens is I have spent, let's just say, the past 2 days making sure the house is completely perfect. And then he walks in the door and notices there's a bottle cap on the floor or some bull crap. Okay. He notices something and he never says, wow, the house looks great. That is not him. He's going to notice what I didn't do instead of what I did do. He notices what I didn't do. And I have to prepare myself. I do. And sometimes I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I cleaned nothing and just left it all a train wreck. Would he just walk in a bad mood? Go, God, you hadn't done nothing since I've been gone. But instead, I make sure we have fresh sheets on the bed, everything's washed, cleaned. And then he walks in the door and go, what'd you do with my sheet of paper that I had right here that's been here for 6 weeks and I know where it's at? Where did you do with that paper? You know, he does that crap to me. And so when I cleaned everything, I washed the dehydrator. All right. And I went and put the dehydrator on top of the dryer because the dehydrator goes in the very top shelf that I cannot reach. And I was going to go get a ladder to put it in the top of the shelf, but I put it on top of the dryer. Okay. That morning, I'm not going to go into details, but there was a possibility that Larry fell because I check the cameras every morning and the camera was in the floor. And I was like, why is the camera in the floor? And I had gone into Larry's room and there was water all over the floor where the camera was. And I was like, that dude's done fell. So I'm trying to go through the camera to see what's happened. And I can't see nothing because the camera's on the floor and I didn't get the fall or whatever happened. And so I was a little stressed out as I was cleaning. It was like I was trying to distract myself because I was so stressed out because I had planned on taking him on a ride. And I'm like, God, he's fallen. Has he hurt himself? And he was asleep in the bed. So I was a bit stressed out because I didn't know if the day was going to go as planned. Well, all of a sudden I hear boom. I was like, what was that? The dehydrator was in the floor because I put the dehydrator on the dryer and I had the dryer on. So I guess it was like vibrating and then crashed in the floor. And I'm on the verge of tears. And I'm like, God, I cannot handle all this. I feel like I'm about to explode. Like I have so much on my shoulders. Like, give me a break. Like, come on, do something. Like, just rest my brain for one day. And so I sat there and thought, I don't know how much a dehydrator costs, but I'm fixing to get in trouble. So I was thinking in my head. And I thought, I have sat here, I'm going to say for 2 hours, cleaning this whole entire house. And Shane's going to walk in this door. And the first thing he's going to say is, what'd you do to my dehydrator? He's not going to walk in the door and go, Dang, this house is clean. The sheets are changed. I mean, the house smells good. Everything is perfect. He's not going to notice that. He's going to walk in this door because I had the dehydrator on the counter. And the first thing he's going to notice is what I did. I broke it. And he's going to have no clue what I've been through this morning with Larry. And I needed an atta girl. Good job. The house looks fantastic. I needed him to come in and go, God, Judy, everything looks great. And I knew in the back of my head, girl, if you expect, because you know how expectations do, Judy, if you expect that joker to walk in the door and tell you atta girl, okay, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. And I sat down and because Larry wasn't awake yet, and I'm looking around the house and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to take care of myself? Because this morning has been a train wreck. I've broken the dehydrator. Larry has possibly fallen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take him on this little road trip. Something else happened, but I can't remember what. And I thought, well, what am I going to do to take care of myself? Because if I expect Shane to walk through the door and tell me that you have done a fantastic job on this house, it ain't happening. What am I going to do? What tool do I need to reach down in my pocket and pull out? Because it is not going to happen. Well, about that time, Larry's bath lady got here. And I said, hey, I think he's fallen. I don't know if he's hit the ground. He's telling, because he woke up and he said, no, this is what he said. I said, what happened? Why is the camera off the wall? Oh, Judy, in the middle of the night, I hear something crash on the floor. And I looked up and the camera fell. And I thought, dude, you can't hear thunder, but you heard this little bitty camera fall off the wall. And I'm supposed to believe that. Like, really? Well, not only was the camera knocked off the wall, but I told you there was a puddle of, I didn't know what it was. So when I went to go get some paper towels to clean up the mess, it was water. Okay? It wasn't like anything. It wasn't Coke. It was water. And so when he was telling me the story about him hearing the camera fall off the wall, I'm sitting here going, I call BS. That's what I was thinking in my head, okay? I'm like, no. And I said, well, what is all this in the floor? He goes, what? I guess Tag peed in the floor. Gonna blame it on the dog. It wasn't pee. It wasn't yellow. It was clear. And I didn't smell pee, okay? But I was like, I call BS on every bit of it. And I'm supposed to sit here and believe this. But I decided not to push it, because if I would say, Larry, you can't hear thunder, but you heard this little bitty camera fall off the wall and Tags peed in the floor. It's not yellow, Larry. If I would have said that, I would have ruined his day and he would have started crying. So instead, I had to let it ruin my day and go, he's lying to me. This has not happened. So when the bath lady came in, I said, hey, I need you to check him. I don't know if he's fallen, but look for a bruise or abrasion or something, because he's fallen into something. So she, gave him a bath, and she came in there, and I was continuing to clean the house and try to figure out how I was going to take care of myself, because Shane was not going to tell me good job. she came in there and she said, Judy, I don't see anything, but he almost fell twice going from the bathroom to his bedroom. She said he's off balance. And I was like, that joker doesn't. I said, he may not have hit the floor, but he fell into the wall. He did something. I'm not stupid, you know? But unfortunately, when it comes to Larry, every single thing is a guessing game. You feel like you're really crazy because everything is a guessing game. So I went into his room and I said, do you feel like going today? And he said, yeah. I said, well, give me just a minute. Let me get everything together that I need to get together. Just sit down and let me get a minute. Let me have a minute. And I sat in there in the living room and I was on the verge of tears about the dehydrator. And I was about to Google how much is a dehydrator and just order the dang thing myself. And I was like, how do I keep myself from getting my feelings hurt, getting pissed off, and going to a really bad place mentally? I need to take Larry on this ride and I need to enjoy my day. So how do I get myself up and dance? Because I feel like everything is crashing upon me. So this is what I did. I've learned when it comes to Shane, I have to specifically tell him what I need. Like, for example, you know how I like people to do back handsprings in the front yard when I give them something? Before I give them the present, I'm like, hey, I'm fixing to give you this present. And this is what I need from you. I need you to just like run around the house and pretend like you're like ripped up excited. And we both will sit there and die laughing. So then when he opens the present, he goes running around the house like he's so excited. And it makes us both die laughing. And then it makes like me not get disappointed because we're both laughing our heads off. So I've learned to do that with Shane. So I called him on the phone. I said, hey, he's with his dad. I got to tell you something. He's like, okay. I was like, you remember that day? You remember that day when we were in Stapleton and you were trying to get me on the tractor and I was bawling my eyes out because I was afraid I was going to wreck the tractor? And you said to me that day, you said, Judy, get on the tractor. If you break it, I can fix it. I can fix anything. I said, you remember when you said that to me that day? He went, yeah. And I said, well, this is the deal. That day, when you told me you could fix anything, if you remember correctly, that weekend you left to go hunting. And I decided, okay, I'm going to conquer my fear. I'm going to get on this tractor because Shane told me he can fix anything. That particular day in Stapleton, Shane's hunting. I get the nerve to get on the tractor. And there's this, I think you call it a roll bar, in case you roll the tractor and it keeps you safe so the tractor doesn't hit you. Well, I'm in reverse. I'm in his brand new $40,000 brand spanking new, not even a week old shop. Okay. And I get the nerve to get on the tractor because he told me he could fix anything. I began, I rolled up the door and got on the tractor and I proceeded to back up. Okay. Well, when I backed up, I tore the garage door down. Okay. The $40,000 brand new garage. I tear the door down. And I went into panic mode. I was like, holy crap. I bet when he said he can fix anything, I don't think he meant the garage door completely down. That day, when I tell you I went into panic mode, I'm running down the street trying to get neighbors to come help me. I'm like, y'all, where do I order this garage door? My gosh, this has to be replaced in 1 week. And all his tools and everything are in the garage and I can't shut the door. Okay. It was terrible. Okay. So I'm saying, you remember that time I was on the tractor and you told me you could fix anything and I pulled the whole dang garage door down? Yes. I said, well, it's not that bad. I didn't tear the garage door down. He was like, what did you do? I said, okay, this is the deal, Shane. I've had one of those mornings with Larry. He fell apparently into the wall. There was water everywhere. The nurse tells me that he almost fell twice. He was off balance. I'm having a morning. I'm trying to be the good daughter and take him out. I'm stressed out. I've been cleaning like wildfire. I've cleaned everything and I need you to walk in the door when you get home and I need you to go, oh my gosh, this house is amazing. That's what I need you to do. Judy, why do you need me to do that? Shane, because I've worked hard, I've had a bad day, and I need you just to walk in the door and go, this is daggum the most perfect house I've ever seen in my life. That's what I need from you because I've had one of those days and I need to know from your mouth. I don't need it from anybody else. I need to know from your mouth that I did an incredible job. Judy, why do you need me to tell you that? And why are you telling me? Why are you reminding me that I can fix anything? Shane, listen to me. I don't need you to yell at me. I need you just to listen to me, okay? Just listen. You know that really nice dehydrator that you left in the kitchen? Well, I washed the dang thing. I washed it. And I put it on the top of the dryer. And I went to clean Larry's crap up. And it fell off. And it broke. And you're going to hurt my feelings. Just to let you know, you are literally going to hurt my feelings terribly. And I am going to go to a really bad place in my life if you walk in the door and only notice that I broke this dehydrator. I need you to walk in the door and just go, this house smells amazing. Judy, thank you for washing my clothes. Thank you for changing the sheets and watching all the bedding. That's what I need you to do. And he starts dying laughing. And I was like, whew. And he was like, how did the dehydrator break? And I was like, because I had the dryer on, and I wasn't thinking that the dehydrator was going to fall because the cabinet that it goes into is right above the dryer. And I wasn't like thinking clearly. And he goes, okay, when I walk in the door, I'll put on this big act that the house is fantastic. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you. If I need to buy you a new dehydrator, I will. But thank you for meeting my needs, because it's been one of those mornings with Larry. And I'm fixing to spend the whole day in the car with a man that can't even freaking walk right now. And he was like, I got you. I got you. I go and do Larry. I get him in the car, and I'm thinking in my head, this joker is not getting out of this car, because I'm not about to have him fall when we are an hour away from home. So I told him, I said, what we're going to do, I said, I brought your pee urinal. And if you need to pee, we're going to pee in this urinal. We're not getting out of this car. You're not stable right now. And he was like, I think he was relieved, to be honest. So we rode around to people's houses, and it's like, sometimes I feel like I cannot do anything right. I try to clean the house. I break the dang dehydrator. You know, I go out of my way to take Larry on this little birthday thing, because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go loafing. He calls it loafing. I don't know if that's, I've never heard that word in my life, but he calls it loafing. He wanted to go loafing to Pine Mountain in Aniana. So I was trying to make it special and let him go see his friends. And he wanted to go see his house. And, you know, like I was trying to make his birthday, because I knew the expectations of the birthday. I'm like, ain't nobody coming to see him, you know. But even if someone came to see him, he wouldn't talk to him. He would not. I mean, he would be very vague. He is so socially awkward that it's hard. And he can't hear you talking. So he just talks and he has no idea what you're saying back. So I'm not mad at my family per se for not coming to visit. Like, I get it. I get it. So I'm trying to do a good job, and I'm trying to take him, and I'm trying to be this great stepdaughter. And I get home and I'm stressed out. Like, I'm so stressed out. I'm thinking, why do I come up with this crap? Like, why did I think that he would just love this? But I was doing what he asked for, you know? But sometimes, and I think he did enjoy himself for the most part, but I don't know. Sometimes I just feel sorry for myself. And I'm thinking, should I have told Larry what I needed before we got in this car? Like, Larry, look, I'm fixing to take you on this birthday ride. I'm really stressed out because you fell into the wall, knocked the camera off, spilled everything in the floor, and laid in the floor probably overnight. You almost fell twice with the nurse. I'm trying to be a good daughter, get you in the car, drive. I don't need you to pull one over on me. I don't need you to go up here and get sideways. I need you to be ripped up excited that I took the time to take you on this car ride. I don't need you to get in left field. Should I have done that? So Shane gets home. Larry didn't get out of the car the whole way. And he did thank me for taking him. And I get Larry inside, and Shane came home, and he walked in the door. Oh my God, this house is fantastic. Oh my God, Judy, you done outdid yourself. Shoo-wee. This house is awesome. And I'm laughing so because when he does it, when I tell him what I need and he does exactly what I say, we're both laughing so hard we're about to pee in our pants. It's just like a running joke. And I've learned with, you know how when your husband does not meet your needs or your wife does not meet your needs, because Shane does not meet my needs. I tell y'all this all the time. He does not make, he's not romantic. He's not bringing flowers. He's not, celebrating any holiday with me. I am not going to have a stocking with girly stuff under it. He will never go shopping for me. I will never get jewelry. He told me that. You will never get jewelry from me. I'm a jewelry person. Okay. He does not meet my needs at all. So how do I have a happy marriage? I have to take care of myself. And I have to say, hey, look, I'm fixing to go out and buy a ring. Okay. I'm fixing to go out and buy me a wedding ring for the first time. Okay. I have no ring. Okay. I'm going to go out and get this ring. I'm going to wrap it and hand it to you. And we're going to pretend like that you have gone out and went shopping. And you're going to present this ring to me like, I don't know, I'm some kind of princess or something. And that you've been saving all your money. Okay. Like for years. You finally have met the right girl and you're fixing to hand me this ring, and like you're going to get down on one knee and just propose to me and pretend like you are Romeo and I am Juliet. And if I did that, he would role play with me. And we would both be laughing so hard that we're about to pee on ourselves. And I don't know why, but when we do that, it's like my needs to get met. I know it's silly. It makes no sense at all. Like, even though he didn't go do it, I went and did it. It's like, I don't know why, but like it meets my needs because he's funny. He's funny and he will role play with me and we will both sit there and I'm like, because then I'll role play about, oh my God, Romeo, I love that Romeo. And we will be laughing so flippin' hard. And when there's laughter in it, I don't know why it meets my needs. And when he walked in the door and he said, "This house is fantastic." I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much. I worked 2 hours on making sure this house looked fantastic. Judy, you done outdid yourself. Woo! This house is fantastic. And then he walked over to the dehydrator. I said, don't say anything. Don't say I'm a jackleg for doing that, okay? Just say you can fix it. And he goes, well, Judy, I told you I could fix anything. And I think I can fix this. I'm like, I didn't know you could, Shane. It was a pure accident. I didn't mean to do it. It was a pure accident. And I knew in the back of my head that my husband would understand that it was an accident and it fell off the dryer, and you would not get mad at me. You would understand. Well, my grandmother gave me this dehydrator, and it was very sentimental. And I'm not mad at you at all for knocking the dadgum dehydrator off the dryer. I know it was an accident. No problem at all. I can fix this right up. And the day ended well. Sometimes in life, I've realized that sometimes you have to tell people what you need because they can't read through the lines. Okay. Shane is not romantic. As a matter of fact, there's this high class hotel here in Coleman, and it's fairly new, and it's called I'm having a brain fart. Oh, shoot. I don't know. 50. I don't know. It's a sentimental hotel because here in Coleman, there were these 50 guys that got on. They were all pilots and they were all entrepreneurs. This was a long time ago, okay? And they got on a plane and they would go around they were entrepreneurs, and they would go around to different places trying to bring businesses to Coleman. And they're called 50 something, and I don't know why I can't think of the word. But that is 50 something is very popular in Coleman, and I'm just having a brain fart. So they named this hotel after that. And on the side of the building it's like painted and it's gorgeous. Well, they've asked Shane and I to come stay the night, and they want me to do a video. They want me to do a YouTube video. And I said, Shane, listen, this company or this hotel wants you and I to come spend the night. This hotel is like a $350 a night hotel. Okay. It's not this $99 hotel. It's like nice. Okay. I'm so excited. I've told you guys before, every time I ask Shane, the answer is no. And I get my feelings hurt. Okay. You would think when I say this, when I say, Shane, we get to stay in this $350 a night hotel and I get to do a video on it for free. They're going to bless us. I'm so excited. Which night can you go? Well, this is what he said to me. He said, well, I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to work. So what I'll do is I'll just come to the hotel and we'll see it and film it. And then I'll leave and you can spend the night so I don't have to spend the night away from the dogs. Are you kidding me right this minute? You just totally busted my bubble. Shane is not romantic at all. I have to work really hard to dig in my pocket, to pull out tools and go to counseling to learn that I have to deal with this guy that's nothing like me. That really hurt my feelings. Did he mean to hurt my feelings? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He didn't think nothing of it. I mean, to him, he's a man. To him, I should understand that. He ain't leaving his dogs. His dogs ain't got nobody to sleep with. But I'm like, we have this romantic, nice hotel, and you're going to leave in the middle of the night and come home and leave me in this hotel by myself to spend the night while you go sleep with your flipping dogs. Yes. I can't leave those dogs alone. Dude, you do for hunting season every single year. Yeah, but you're home. That makes sense to this man. To this woman, I'm like, he could care two craps about me. But that's not true. Shane's a weirdo. So what do I tell Shane? How do I, because in the beginning of our marriage, I would walk away and hate his guts. Remember me telling you, I would hate that jackleg is the biggest, and I would hate him for months and resent him. So how do I handle this situation and not go to I hate his guts and resent him? Because that was really, really in my head. I'm a woman. That was really tacky. I have to say, listen, let's stop this situation. Let's back up. I need to tell you what to say because obviously you don't know. Okay. I now clearly see why you were single for 19 years. Okay. I can see the big picture of why you were single for 19 years. So I'm going to back up and let's start over and we're going to role play. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what you need to say. I'm fixing to tell you that we got this hotel that's $350 a night and they want you and I to stay overnight. And this is one night that we can actually get away from our house and have a romantic night. Okay. So I'm going to say that to you. You're going to go, let's go to a nice place for dinner. We'll go to a nice place for dinner and then we'll go to the hotel. And we're not leaving at 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay. You're going to say that to me. Okay. Let me start over. Shane, you're not going to believe this. There's this hotel that wants you and I to spend the night. And it's going to be a wonderful time. It's like a really nice hotel, Shane. And they want you and I to film. Doesn't that sound fun? Oh, yes, Judy. Let's go find a great place to go to dinner. Okay. And we'll go and we'll spend the night and have a great time. Shane, you did perfect. High five. Good job. I have to do that. It seems really crazy. Why doesn't this grown man know that? I have to tell him what I need. But when I do that, I don't hate him. It's a funny, we both are like laughing so hard that we're about to pee in our pants. I get my needs met. He learns what he has to say because everything that comes out of that mouth, his mouth gets him in trouble. That mouth. And I say it to him. As soon as he starts talking, I'm like, here we go, that mouth. That mouth right there gets you in so much trouble. Let me tell you what to say, because he has no clue what to say. But I found that I have choices in life, right? I can sit it out and I can go to a really bad place. Or I can dance. And I had to figure him out. It has not been an easy process. Shane and I will be together 11 years in January. I had to figure out that joker's mouth gets him in trouble. And when you tell him what he needs to say, he is fantastic at it. Okay. And we are both laughing. And that's what makes us dance, is to realize I had to go in my head. I'm fixing to say this, and this joker is going to go, he's going to say he's going to say the wrong things. He has not figured me out. He has not figured out what my needs are. He thinks, but he has not figured me out like I feel. You know why? Because he doesn't ask me for $30 copays to go to the doctor. I have to do it. And sometimes in life that feels overwhelming to go, why is it me? Why do I have to spend the $30 and go to counseling to deal with his butt? But that's what makes me dance. That's why. Because I do have choices. I could hate his guts, but Shane is a wonderful husband. I just had to figure him out. And that's what helps me put on my dancing shoes and have a wonderful marriage, because I have to figure that jack leg out. And I have. All right. I will see y'all Wednesday. Bye.